pickup truck. It's a Ford F-150. Buy Progressive for a money-saving car insurance quote. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. Buy Jack in the Box. Get the big deal today for just $2.99 plus tax. And by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It's on. It wouldn't be a game against Seattle if we didn't start out by talking Ichiro. He is leading the majors in batting average right now at .368. Nine-time All-Star and the catalyst that makes the Mariners' engine go. Seattle's 53-48. They are laying claim to being in the race in the West. They're 7.5 games behind, and the Rangers are 3.5 games behind the Angels right now. The Angels have the night off, so the Rangers will either gain a half a game or lose a half a game tonight. Same with this Seattle team. Rangers about to play their 100th game of this 2009 season. They're the last American League team to get to that century mark. Everybody else has played a hundo at this point, or 101. And the Rangers take the field wearing the blue tonight. Marlon Byrd says, up and at 'em, let's go get 'em. The Rangers did score 5 runs last night, but they gave up 13. And the Red Bull toast is being made out in the bullpen. Hopefully those fellas won't be called on to do too much tonight. Derek Holland would like to give him the night off just to, well, sit there and enjoy some Red Bull. As for the Mariners' batting order, Ichiro at the top, the red-hot Franklin Gutierrez batting second, and Jose Lopez and the veteran DH Mike Sweeney. One-time Ranger Chris Shelton, then the 2 Jacks back-to-back. Hanahan and the newly acquired Jack Wilson. Rob Johnson's the catcher, Michael Saunders, a native Canadian, in left field, batting 9th. And now a little Derek Holland for you. The scouting report brought to you by the Dallas County Community College District.
Well, Derek is getting his feet wet at the big league level. He's 3-6. His ERA is 6.13. Right-hand hitters have fared 40 points better than left-hand hitters. He has had his share of strikeouts, almost 8 strikeouts per 9 innings as a starter. So his stuff is solid. It's a matter of, as he says, locating his fastball a little bit better, keeping it down, keeping it on the corners, continuing to work on his off-speed pitches. Derek feels himself that the key for him is to locate his fastball better, and certainly that's a major part of it.
He really came into his own last year at the tender age of 21. One of the guys that really helped bring him along is now the Seattle Mariners pitching coach. Rick Adair was the guy that was charged with circulating amongst the Rangers minor leaguers, making sure they were with the program, that they were coming along, and Holland with a chance to kind of show off in front of Rick Adair tonight. Also a chance to make sure that the ERA starts coming down from 6.13 is where it is right now. Derek pitched well for a while in that game against Kansas City back on Saturday. In fact, he led 3-0 after 3 innings. There is Rick Adair behind Chris Shelton. Rick showed up just long enough for us to talk about him. There he is with his signature cup of coffee. That's what they say about a player who gets up for just a little while, right? They get a cup of coffee in the big leagues. But yep. Derek Holland is not up for just a cup of coffee. He's been around long enough now to establish himself. And as you keep saying, Tag, and I think it's worth repeating, the stuff is there, the stuff is great, but at 22 years old, he is still figuring some things out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when you have a kid this inexperienced when he gets to the big leagues, it's very tough to evaluate him seriously and hold him accountable for the performance you watch in his first season. I think you just have to wait till he can digest this season and wait and see how the other seasons unfold. Chances are it's going to be a whole lot different than what you're seeing right now, when he just gets a little more confidence, a little more experience, a little bit more command, all the things that you acquire with age, you acquire with experience. It's hard to manufacture those things. The talent's there, but the other things come with time.
Ichiro knocks one towards the crowd. Well, one little quirk that we should mention here, this is the second straight start where it's the exact same home plate umpire for Derek Holland. Mike Muchlinski gets that call behind the plate tonight. He is up from the minors and was filling in on a different crew when the Rangers were in Kansas City. Ichiro rolls it to short. Andrus knows he's got to take care of business right away, and he does. So this is something that's not supposed to happen. One starting pitcher is not supposed to have to deal with the exact same home plate umpire 2 starts in a row, but Derek will be doing that. He's got this defense behind him tonight. Another night off for Ian Kinsler. He hopes to be back in the lineup tomorrow. That hamstring seized up on him the other night. Strike to Franklin Gutierrez. You saw that shot of Ian Kinsler. We hope to have Ian on the broadcast tonight. We'll fit him with a microphone and check in with him a little bit later. Got some great in-booth guests scheduled for you tonight as well. A couple of Ranger Hall of Famers, matter of fact. Couple of strikes now to Gutierrez.
Nice curveball by Derek right there to get ahead. Gutierrez has been playing some great baseball for Seattle. Played well against the Rangers in the 4-game series we just had in Seattle.
Derek Holland strikes out the hottest Seattle hitter.
Well, there's everything you're looking for. Derek talked about command of his fastball. He got strike 1 with his fastball. And we're talking about his off-speed pitches. He threw a curveball for strike 2 and gets Gutierrez to chase a slider in the dirt. So you saw all 3 of his pitches right there. Good at bat for Derek.
The first pitch of the game was a ball, but the next 8 now have all been strikes. The next 9 have all been strikes. That one to Jose Lopez. Seattle 5 games over 500. Last year at this time, they were 38-63. That's why Don Wakamatsu's on the job now. The managerial switch was made in the offseason. That's quite a turnaround. 53 wins right now as opposed to 38 at this time last year. Wakamatsu, the one-time Ranger coach, still lives here in the area. Lopez taps it to second base. That's a strike throw in first inning for Derek Holland.
Very nice.
A couple of ground outs and a strikeout, and now here come the Rangers against Garrett Olson next. And Andrus, 3 straight multi-hit games for the first time in his career. Scouting out Olson, brought to you by the Dallas County Community College District.
He's 3-4 on the season. His last start is a start he probably would like to scratch off the books. That was against the Tigers, 1 1/3, 5 hits, 7 runs in that game. He's pitched as much in relief as he has as a starter. 10 relief outings, 10 starts. Giving up less hits than innings pitched. One thing he has given up to have his ERA above 5 is home runs. He's given up 15 home runs in 65 innings. He's been pretty tough to hit. Not a whole lot of walks, but he's been a little bit prone to the home run ball.
Now the Rangers just happen to hit him. Second most in the major leagues right now, as a matter of fact. Deflected. The bare hand of Olson got nipped. And Vizquel ends up out on a close play. Jose Lopez with the range behind the bag. Going to score that one 1-4-3 as it deflected off of Olson. The rookie Michael Saunders in left. Franklin Gutierrez, a former Cleveland Indian, then Ichiro in right. Hanahan and Wilson on the left side of the infield. Lopez and Shelton on the right. Garrett Olson works to Rob Johnson. Garrett Olson in for Eric Bedard, who's on the DL with a sore shoulder. That's the lefty the Rangers would have been facing tonight. High fly ball from Michael Young. And Ichiro camping, making that catch, 2 down.
Olson pitched for the Orioles last year, 26 starts. He was 9-10. His ERA was over 6.5 though. Gave up 168 hits in 132 innings. He's really improved upon his hits per innings pitched this year. ERA is down from last year. But he's a guy that I think the Mariners like, project to be a potential candidate to stay in the rotation over the years. Good opportunity for him.
Marlon Byrd had a 6-game hitting streak stop last night. Lofting one into center field. And Garrett Olson needing only 8 pitches to get through this bottom of the first. In the battle of the lefties tonight, Holland and Olson. No score at the end of 1.
Tom, Josh, we have Jennifer Johnson, Community Corner tonight. She is the Executive Director of the Ronald McDonald House. Jennifer, tell us a little bit about that organization.
Well, the Ronald McDonald House of Fort Worth is located 1 block south of Cook Children's Medical Center, and we provide a home away from home for the families of critically ill children who are being treated in the Fort Worth area. Last year alone, we had 919 families that stayed at our house, and we expect probably well over 1,000 this year.
Wonderful organization. You got a big-time luncheon coming up with a Lone Star legend. I know all Ranger fans and baseball fans recognize this guy.
Definitely. Anybody that's watching this game tonight, anyone here at the stadium or watching at home, is definitely not going to want to miss out on this event. It's August 28th at the Omni Fort Worth Hotel at 11:30. It's lunch with a Lone Star legend featuring none other than Mr. Nolan Ryan. There, for ticket information, you can call the Ronald McDonald House at 817-870-4942 or check out our website at www.ftworthrmh.org or just Google the Ronald McDonald House of Fort Worth. There's plenty of tickets available, and we'd love to have you out there.
There we go. August 28th. Appreciate it. Thank you, Jennifer. Nice meeting you. Josh?
Awesome. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jennifer. It was a wonderful organization. 1-2 the count to Mike Sweeney, who is one of the more charitably minded guys in baseball himself. A guy that just hadn't been able to stay off the DL, though, unfortunately. But boy, they love what he's brought to that Seattle clubhouse. I don't know of a more positive guy in and around Major League Baseball. What Sean Casey used to be, Mike Sweeney still is. To the point where you kind of think it's an act. You know, you wonder, nobody can be that nice all the time, can they? But
well, you've known him for a long time. What's the answer?
I think the answer apparently is yes. A guy can actually be that nice.
He can anyway.
The rest of us, not so much, but waves off a pitch in the dirt from Holland. Well, Derek just breezed through it in the first inning. Now he's got Sweeney and Shelton, a couple of pretty solidly built right-hand hitters to contend with. Popped up an Iceman. There is the second baseman, Omar Vizquel, who brings that same kind of energy to the Rangers clubhouse. Nothing wrong with having a veteran nice guy in your clubhouse if you're looking to contend. Keep all the young guys even keeled.
Yeah, I've never really bought Leo DeRocher's statement that nice guys finish last. You know, that I never really understood that one too much.
Well, you want guys.
There's too many nice guys in sports.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, I think what is subtly communicated by that, and maybe what Leo DeRocher meant, is he wanted guys that, you know, didn't care about going in spikes high. He wanted, you know, just guys that just wanted to win at all costs. Mike Sweeney is a nice guy. Omar Vizquel, nice guy, but they really want to win, too.
Exactly. And you're right. I think that's what Leo meant. But you can be a real nice guy and still play that way. There's a whole bunch of guys doing that. Who was it in that brawl on the field that Mike Sweeney?
He went after Jeff Weaver.
Pretty much picked him up and threw him into center field.
Chased him into shallow center. And that's the thing. I mean, Mike Sweeney's a competitor. And he felt like his livelihood was being messed with, so he charged Jeff Weaver. Had no compunction about doing that. I don't know if you remember the old Mr. Ed episode where Johnny Roseborough climbs the backstop to get away from a hard-charging Mr. Ed, but that's kind of what the Jeff Weaver fleeing looked like. And Mike Sweeney's a horse himself. Shelton down on strikes, 2 away.
You know, Derek is talking about locating his fastball, and that was a great example of it right there. He kept it right on the outside corner. But along with the fastball that set up the fastball were a couple of sliders down and in. The sliders down and in, I think, set up that fastball to where Shelton just waved at it. That's a real good at bat. There's been several of them for Derek tonight. Kind of overmatched Chris in that particular at bat. As you said, Josh, a lot of strikes.
In that first inning, it was 11 out of 13 pitches. Two quick strikes to Hanahan. Holland obviously in quite a little rhythm right now. Just getting that ball and going if the hitters stay in the box. We've now seen Jack Hanahan this year with half of the teams in the AL West. Started out with the Oakland A's, now he's with the Mariners. Whoa! Holland thought he had it. Like you and I thought he had it. The fans thought so.
He had it.
Washington
thought he had it.
Mike Michlinski, what you got?
Did he have it?
No, the umpire.
Technically, he didn't. It was, close enough to get a call, but Mike made the right call, slightly outside, or inside, I mean.
Again, an unusual wrinkle where Holland gets the exact same home plate umpire. Back-to-back starts for him. Chop ball first base. Blaylock to Holland to end the inning. 6 up, 6 down for Dutch. Now to the bottom of the second. No score. Easier to take in a ball game. See it for yourself. Go and get tickets on StubHub, the official fan-to-fan marketplace of the Rangers. TexasRangers.com. Then choose StubHub from the tickets menu. Trade rumors swirling all around baseball. The Roy Halladay trade talks specifically. Those are not dying down, and I'm sure Derek Holland has heard his name pop up, but he's got the blinders on tonight, pitching real well early. Nelly Cruz chips one towards right. Ichiro has got it. For what it's worth, here's what came across the wire today. And I just think it's funny the way it comes across. It says, trade talks for Toronto ace Roy Halladay are, quote, dead, unquote. But the club remains willing to listen to offers leading up to Friday's 3 Central deadline.
We haven't had something we'd agreed to yet, but we're still dying to get your offer, so it's like a house for sale.
That is like a house of fire. Hank Blaylock's 20th of the year. It's 1-0 Rangers.
And that one went a long way. That went, guys in the bullpen didn't even get up. That went over the bullpen by a couple of rows. First pitch hitting, lefty to lefty. Hank with number 20 and knocks in run number 50, all with one swing of the bat. And more importantly, gives the Rangers a 1-run lead. Oh, Hank got all of that. Let's see where that one was.
Center square.
Whoa, that's why they say keep it out of the center square.
You'd mentioned it earlier. Olsen is prone to the home run ball. He's given up 16 now in 66 innings. Andrew Jones blasted a couple of them yesterday. His second multi-homer game of the month. Both of them, strangely, right before the Rangers were ready to start a series with Seattle. Yeah, the 3-homer game, that last game in Anaheim before the Rangers went to Safeco Field. And a 2-homer game against the Tigers here yesterday, and here's Seattle again. Would you believe that Andrew Jones has the most home runs of any American leaguer in the month of July?
I don't think I would have known that, but if you say it, I definitely believe it.
I'm not messing with you. I mean, it's true. Andrew walks. The National League leader in July. Did you happen to see this in the press notes? Because all right, now I can say this with some authority. I'll give you $1,000 if you know who it is.
Well, let's see. You give me $1,000. I bet it's not Ryan Howard.
You get one guess because I don't have $1,000.
All right,
that's it. It's not Ryan
I bet
Howard.
you it's not. Trying to think. I can't even think of an obscure guy to say.
How about Garrett Jones of the Pirates?
You know what? You're right. I could have guessed from now until I die, and I wouldn't have gotten that.
How long
because to be honest with you, I didn't know Garrett Jones played for the Pirates.
He's the last guy still there. I'm sure he'll be dealt somewhere by tomorrow.
Yeah, you better be careful. It's another one tonight. He'll be gone.
All the Joneses seem to be hitting home runs in July. Andrew for the Rangers, Garrett for the Pirates.
How many has he got?
10 in July.
Wow. Obviously, we don't follow the National League quite like we do the American League. But
we had to get out the Pirates media guide tonight.
The kid's got 10 home runs in July.
Yeah.
I think I would have noticed it by mistake.
Well, again,
it's kind of embarrassing.
The Mariners making that trade with the Pirates, getting both Ian Snell and their new starting shortstop, Jack Wilson. So we're re-educating ourselves about the Pirates. Hamilton serving one into left center field. Closing in, making the catch is Saunders for out number 2. Jack Wilson is set to make his first Mariners trip to the plate to lead things off against Eric Holland next inning. And as you mentioned, Tag, he's better than just a serviceable shortstop. I mean, he's got real good range, good arm. He's been an all-star before. And he spent his entire big league career with those Pittsburgh Pirates. So this is a brand new thing for him. New league, new team, new time zone, everything. Yeah, and it's a big upgrade for Seattle, too. And I don't mean that negatively against Cedeno or Betancourt. But the reality is this guy's a good, solid player, and he'll bring more to the table for them than they've had in the last few years. He's not a young player who they've got under control forever. I think he's signed maybe through next year. But for the time being, it gives him a real solid job. Saltalamacchia blasting away. Deep drive gonna go. Home run for Salty. Hit home runs. There wasn't much doubt about that one, just like there wasn't much doubt about the one that Hank hit. Just a matter of how much green it was going to get in center field. Oh, look, I looked like that one was on the inside part of the plate, so kind of an inside-out approach for Salty as he hit the ball to center field. Pretty good approach. 8 home runs now this year. Andrews takes one down and in. You look at Olson's line, we've already mentioned it. He came into the game with a 5.37 ERA, but less hits than innings pitched and not an alarming amount of walks. But he had given up 15 home runs in 65 innings, and that's kind of been the problem in this game. He's given up 2 hits. Both of them have been home runs. Much better start tonight than what the Rangers had to deal with yesterday. The Rangers lost that game 13-5. Just the second time in the history of this franchise, Tag, going back to their time in D.C., that they had allowed runs in each of the first 7 innings of a game. Wow. And it happened once ever. The second game of the 1994 season at Yankee Stadium, that happened to him. The only other time in About 7,700 ball games that we saw what we saw last night. In there to Andrews.
It's probably one of the least likely games you'd expect it to happen in, too. The Tigers really hadn't been swinging the bats that well.
Yeah.
And the Rangers had Scott Feldman on the mound, so you would not expect that kind of a game.
Andrews draws the walk. Yeah, Scooter faced 18 batters in that game, and 12 of them reached. Speaking of reaching, Elvis has done that. Our Geico quote, all about patience. I think for the most part, Elvis has done exactly that. He has walked 22 times this year. That's more than veteran hitters like Blaylock and Bird. And
you're right, and it's a great attitude for a 20-year-old in the big leagues to have that kind of mentality. And if he's working on that now, it's only going to get better by the time he's 25 or 26. And you know, he has the potential to be a guy that will walk, which will create on-base percentage. And he also has shown that he won't be the kind of guy that's prone to the strikeout either.
Well, this guy at the plate right here, Omar Vizquel, when he broke in his early 20s, his first 2 seasons, he had 28 walks and 18. Not a lot. By the time he was in his 30s, he was drawing 65s and 87s and numbers like that. Elvis seems to be ahead of the curve.
Yeah, and he's struck out, if you look at bats and strikeouts instead of plate appearances, but just at bats. About 1 out of every 6.5 at bats he strikes out. And that's pretty good in today's game for anybody. It's really good for a 20-year-old.
Now the Rangers drawing this walk in the 2nd inning from Andrews, and the one drawn by Andrew Jones earlier in the inning. That's already more walks tonight than they had all of last night. One walk and 18 strikeouts yesterday, and I think it's fair to point out, Tag, that in the Rangers' last 2 losses, there are only 2 losses in a week and a half. Those 2 games, they've walked twice and struck out 34 times.
Well, they saw Justin Verlander throwing the ball really well, and they saw Luke Hochevar doing the same thing.
Both those guys had no walks and 13 strikeouts, as a matter of fact. The bounce out ends the inning, but there were a couple of Ranger blasts in the bottom of inning 2. And the Rangers lead by 3. All right. Texas Ranger Baseball brought to you by Geico Insurance, where 15 minutes can save you 15% on car insurance, and by AT&T. Switch to the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Now back in Seattle, they're very interested in this at bat right here. Jack Wilson's first at bat as a Seattle Mariner. A lot of pomp and circumstance regarding his arrival in Seattle. From a Ranger perspective, we can kind of table the Jack Wilson talk. We've got a guest in the booth that we want to get you to. That's the Hall of Famer Fergie Jenkins, who's kind enough to join us on the air and in town for the Rangers Hall of Fame weekend. And we're not too far from the anniversary of your going into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. You and Gaylord Perry, who we had in the booth a couple of weeks ago, and Rod Carew also in that class. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back in Arlington. Yeah, it's always a great city for me, and the ballpark's in a different position, but baseball's baseball.
You didn't mind pitching in this park when the wind was blowing in from right field.
I would
did
have
you?
loved to pitch in this big ballpark right here. The old one was a little tough from time to time, but this is a great ballpark.
Did you take part in the golf tournament today?
Played this morning, and our team really shot well, but somebody had a better eraser, I think.
Someone turned the scorecard in after you guys?
Yes. We shot a 58, which we thought was pretty good, 13 under.
Wow.
And then we're sitting down having lunch, and somebody's a 57, and then two 56s. I went, whoa, come on.
Wow.
You guys are 15
Who were
to
the
16
players?
under.
Do you know who the players were in those
No,
groups?
I don't. I had to leave to come back, get dressed, come here.
Oh, okay.
So, but other than that, we had a lot of fun.
Good.
You know, we thought we weren't going to play because it rained so hard, but the course is in great shape.
Good.
Derek Holland, you got to be enjoying this, Fergie. As a guy that liked to work fast and change speeds, Derek Holland is doing a nice job tonight.
Well, I just seen 3 runs scored. That's what I love to see. That's
it's about
a
all
two-run
you
homer
need.
and a
It's about
solo
all you
homer.
needed.
That's it. I wanted some runs, but that's what it's all about. Get the ball, throw it, because you've got 8 capable fellows playing with you, the catcher and the guys behind you.
Look, if you got 3 runs every game you pitched, you won 20 every single year. That's about all. About all you need.
Tommy, they could have been right. I could have won a lot more games, which is 3 runs.
Fewest walks per 9 innings 5 times, 5 different years turned in by Fergie Jenkins. I think a lot of people rightly remember Fergie as a strikeout guy and a guy that would win you 20 games, and that's great. But also the low walk totals, I'm sure, made your pitching coach happy.
You know, I think in one respect, if you can keep runners off base and pitch not from the stretch, I think it adds a little plus to your performance. But you know, I always said that I challenge the hitter as much as I could, because of the fact that if they come to the plate with a bat, I'm throwing them strikes. I'm not about to walk anybody. So that was my concept.
Fergie, were you a pitcher that just picked up a ball and had excellent mechanics, or did someone teach you pitching mechanics?
Oh, I had to be taught. I was a first baseman as a kid, and Gene DeJure, a local guy in Chatham, Ontario, gave me a lot of information about how to pitch, mound awareness. And then I went to winter ball 2 different years with the Phillies. Cal McClish was my pitching coach, and that kind of just entered into the picture and made me a better ball player, I think.
Right.
And within those 2 years, I think I was ready for the big leagues. And I was at the age 21, 22 years old.
Yep.
We're watching a 22-year-old kind of slice and dice so far tonight. Derek Holland on the mound for the Rangers. And that's it for Saunders. Fergie, do you have just another few minutes to come back?
Definitely.
That was a quick inning. We'd like to talk with you more.
All right.
Thank you very much for doing that. And Derek Holland, so far so great. 9 up, 9 down. to change. Introducing the all-new Fox Fantasy Football with more customizable features and new ways to play. Log on to foxsports.com on MSN. Join the next generation of fantasy football, Tom Grieve.
I want to get in on
I know you do. That's why we read that promo just for you. Mr. Fantasy Football all the time. Rangers up 3-0. Michael Young takes outside.
Sounds like one of those commercials. Mr. Fantasy Football. Da-da-da.
That's a different product.
Oh, okay.
Fergie Jenkins continues in the booth with us. He had some other sports that he was pretty good at, too, if you don't know. Hockey and basketball. And what are we missing?
That's it.
Oh, those two?
Just those two major sports. I played a lot of volleyball, ran track in school, but I thought hockey was going to be the #1 sport for me, but baseball ended up winning out.
How much fun did you have playing hoop?
Ton of fun.
Yeah.
And I toured with the Globetrotters 2 years.
I know it. Did you guys know that? Harlem Globetrotter right here.
2 years, played almost 200 games with them for 2 different winners. That was my winter job.
Michael Young tattoos one. Michael Young hits one out. Way out. It's 4-0.
Michael Young hit one the other day, 440 feet. That one might have been farther than 440 feet. Michael showing not only home run power, but long distance power to go along with it.
This is Michael's best year for slugging percentage as he makes that move from second base to shortstop to third base. He's at a traditional power position now. And he's hitting like Dean Palmer used to hit for power.
Well, they got a lot of the plate. Fergie, I would guess that inside of the rectangle, you didn't see too many of your pitches inside that rectangle.
I didn't want to throw in there, right. I mean, you got punnies thrown in there. And that's the end result. Goes a long way.
You're talking about playing hockey, Ferg. I remember the year you came to spring training with a little bit of a hockey injury.
Yeah, I did. I broke my hand in a fight. That was really.
I remember looking at your knuckle. You didn't even have a knuckle there, boy.
Yeah, and I kept telling Zig, just let it go. I'm going to put as much heat and some ultrasound on it to get it ready because I only had 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And I wasn't gripping the ball too good either. But Zig didn't tell anybody, and I don't know. It went about half the season, and they found out.
Did you get 5 for fighting? Did you knock the other guy out at least? Or?
I got a misconduct and 5 for fighting because he wouldn't stop and I wouldn't stop. And it was an industrial league too. I was like 29, 30. I was almost 30 years old when I was here, and I just going out there. I was a player coach. I was a defenseman. Guy speared me. I just pulled him aside and I said, hey, you guys are going to work every day. I'm retired. And he got mouthed off and I hit him. And then that all started. I hit him in the forehead a couple of times and broke a knuckle in my finger.
Chatting with the great Fergie Jenkins. Again, the Rangers Hall of Fame induction ceremony this weekend, and Fergie will be at the big luncheon on Friday. Tickets still available, by the way. Go to TexasRangers.com for more information. Then the actual induction ceremony Saturday night. Toby Harrah, Ruben Sierra getting ushered in. Marlon Byrd down on strikes here.
Ferg, we're kind of in an era now where the players work out 12 months out of the year. When spring training starts, you could almost play a game. That's the kind of program these players are on. What was your program back when you were pitching as far as off-season baseball activities?
Well, as soon as the season's over and we didn't get in the playoffs, I went home. I went probably fishing or hunting, and then right through to December, I started thinking about getting back in shape and throwing again. And I started to throw right after Christmas.
Did you?
And right through to I had to go to spring training, so I had the whole month of January, and I threw twice a week, about an hour, and just got myself in good shape. Ran some. In Ontario, all you do is run along in some snowbanks.
Right.
Nelly Cruz is going to run around for a while here, at least all the way to second base. A double to the alley in right center. And the Rangers don't have a single yet in this game, but they've got homers and now a double.
Well, they've hit some ropes, too. That was a line shot right there by Nelly. If he got that up, it would have been up where Hank did his ball.
Speaking of hitting home runs, just another little note on Fergie Jenkins. More home runs hit for the Chicago Cubs than any other pitcher in the 20th century. You had 13 home runs just as a Cub.
Right. Now Zambrano's passed me.
Has he?
Yeah, he has. I think he's got like 16 or 17. And he's a switch hitter. The young man's a pretty good athlete. He goes to the plate. He doesn't hold anything back. He lets it go.
How often do you find yourself getting back to Wrigley?
I've been back maybe 5 times this year. They retired my number May the 3rd, and I come back a couple other times. I had a book signing and get to Wrigley Field. Billy Williams still works there, and so does Sano. And then they got a bobblehead night. I think it's the 29th of September.
Have you sent take me out to the ball game yet?
Oh, every time. Oh, man. That's kind of a chore, but I don't mind doing it. But it's fun to do.
Tom refuses to sing. Did you know that?
I would do that, though.
That one you would, really?
If I were, a Hall of Famer like Fergie and they asked me to do that, I'd give it a shot.
You just didn't want to get up on
I don't
stage
want to
around
get up
here.
in front of a group and sing like a pop song or something like that.
Yeah.
I could take.
Well, there's only like 5 courses, and you're done.
I think I'd give that a shot.
Yeah, it's a fun song to sing, and everybody's helping you.
Right?
the crowd's helping you.
Saw a special on TV about Ron Santo. Fergie, what a great guy he is. Do you
he
think
was.
he should be in the Hall of Fame?
Definitely. Yeah. For the 8 years when Ronnie and I played with each other, he was always at third base, and let me tell you, he could catch some line drives, dive, make the play, strong arm, and at one time he was third in every category for third base.
Was he?
Mike Smith was first, Eddie Matthews second, and Ronnie was third.
Right there with him.
And he just cannot get the votes now.
Huh.
It's too bad.
2-2 the count to Blaylock. The Rangers on top 4-0. Derek Holland pitching exceptionally for the Rangers so far, in honor of Fergie Jenkins being in the booth.
And he's got given up no hits.
Now, you said that, and I didn't. I just want to make
well,
sure
that's a pitcher,
Oh, you're okay.
I looked at the scoreboard, but I mean, he's throwing decent. I mean, that's what it's all about. Throw strikes.
In your strongest year, Ferg, if they had radar guns, what would your fastball have been?
Probably low 90s.
Low 90s?
And that was in the 60s. I was throwing the ball pretty good. When I came here to Texas, I was basically in the changing speeds.
Right.
But I still
But
popped
you're
the
still
ball.
around 91 or
yeah,
92.
popped the ball still pretty good.
Yeah.
29 complete games all by himself for the Rangers in 1974. And just to put that in perspective, the last 8 years, the Rangers collectively, every pitcher they've run out there, 28 complete games over 8 years. Fergie had 29 all by his lonesome in 1974.
That's fun to do. I mean, that was part of the game. When Billy Martin gave you the ball, he pretty much could tell you in the bullpen, hey, big fella, we're giving the bullpen a rest. Or, hey, it's your game to win or lose. And there was some close games, with Oakland, some of the Yankees, Kansas City, 2-1, 3-2. I said, hey, I'm glad to be out here. I just kept on pitching.
You pretty much took the ball and expected. I mean, you were thinking you're going 9, right? When the game started.
Yeah, definitely, because Catfish Hunter wasn't coming out.
No.
And a lot of Denny McClain, all these guys weren't coming out after 5, 6 innings. So you better have, and Palmer, you better have your act together.
Yep.
Andrew Jones smacking one, just fouled down the left side. Had the 2-home run game yesterday.
I mean, the reality is, in close games like that, low-scoring games, you're better than anyone they can bring out of the bullpen. So if you want to win the game, you have to stay in the game.
I just think that the tempo of the game is going in your favor, and if you switch the tempo to the bullpen, a lot of times they got to come in, especially with men on base or whatever. I mean, they don't have the same feeling.
Right.
And I just thought it always worked for me to stay in the game as long as I could.
Olsen gives Nelly Cruz a look. We're chatting with Fergie Jenkins here. Really appreciate you sticking around this long, too, Fergie.
Well, I'm glad to be back. And hitting up in the booth, it's a lot easier up here. Believe me. Isn't it, Tommy?
It's a lot easier. I try to remind myself that every time I open my mouth that when I played, I made it look hard. So I can't talk about how easy it is up here.
Yeah, you can throw lots of strikes. Get those fly balls, guys.
Yeah.
Camp underneath it.
No doubt.
Again, the Hall of Fame weekend coming up. Nolan Ryan and Fergie and Jim Sundberg and boy, a lot of other guys will be around to celebrate all that.
Yeah, that's the fun part. You played here for 6 years and got the respect from the fans and the guys you played with. I was talking to Toby the other day in Fort Worth, and I congratulated him. I said, hey, when I was pitching, I knew shortstop was taken care of. Same thing at third or first. We had Hargrove at first, Grover, and then I had Sonny catching.
Sure.
Jones will come up a little bit short here. Ending our time with Fergie Jenkins. Fergie, again,
hey, pleasure.
Thank you,
pleasure.
man.
Thanks,
Hey,
Appreciate
Tom,
it.
Good. Hey, it was fun.
And you've done good, because look at the score.
We got 4 runs. That's it.
Right.
The whole team's got 4.
Rangers already up 4-0 tonight. Let's get to the Aflac trivia question. Who's the youngest player in American League history to homer from both sides of the plate in the same game? Youngest player in AL history to homer from both sides of the plate in the same game. Answer coming up in the bottom of the 4th. Right now, it's 4-zip Rangers and Derek Holland mowing them down. Ichiro and Franklin Gutierrez, though. Pretty good 1-2 punch to challenge him here, second time around. After those two, the second baseman, Jose Lopez. And speaking of second baseman, a guy that should have been in the All-Star game, almost made the All-Star game, now set to join us as Hank Blaylock spears one at first. Ian Kinsler knows a little bit about defense. He's been playing it real well all year. And now the question, Kins, is how's the hammy? When are we going to see you out there again?
Hopefully tomorrow. I'd like to be out there tomorrow. I mean, kind of depends on how I feel when I get to the field. And basically just go from there and take it day by day.
You know, you said it best, Ian, that when you come back, you want to be able to steal a base, beat out an infield hit. And the one thing I think everybody would caution you is don't go out there before you're quite ready.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I want to be playing down the stretch. I mean, we got a lot of important games ahead of us, and I know this series is important, but at the same time, I need to be ready for those games down the stretch and being able to steal bases and do what I like to do when I'm running bases. And if my hammy's bothering me a little bit, I won't be able to do that.
Right, exactly.
Ian, I know you're not a huge numbers guy or anything like that. You play the game to win, and that's it. But, I mean, you must at least be aware that you got a great shot to be a 30-30 guy this year. Would that mean something to you to be 30 homers, 30 steals?
It's a great class to be a part of. That's about all.
That ball taking off to right. Back on it, Nelly Cruz, who's got it.
I mean, that's about it. Just basically being involved in the class with power and speed. I think it's two of the best things to have when you're playing baseball. I enjoy hitting the ball in the park. I enjoy stealing bases, and those two things are a lot of fun for me to do. But at the same time, if I'm 30-30 and we're not in the playoffs making a run at a World Series, it's not going to be that much fun.
Yeah, we've talked a lot, and so has everybody else, about the improved defense on the team. Elvis has had a chance to come up with you on one side and Michael on the other side, and I'm sure that's made his transition a lot easier for him. But what's it been like for you playing alongside Elvis?
Oh man, it's a great time. I mean, we're always communicating, we're always laughing, having fun, and trying to make things happen defensively. It's been a lot of fun playing up the middle with them. I came up with Tex and Mike and Hank in the infield.
Right.
They're all stars, and Elvis, obviously has Mike right next to him and just moving from the position, so he's got a lot to learn. And Omar's playing second tonight. The guy has taught, I think, everyone on the field something about baseball. So he really came into a good situation.
Yep, no doubt about it.
And Kins, for you defensively, you got to be feeling real good about what you've done this year.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I mean, in the past it's always been errors and stuff like that, but I've been happy with the amount of balls I was getting to and trying to help our pitching. But this year, I knew that I needed to step it to a different level if we want our pitching to have success, and it's been going well.
You've done it. Thank you, buddy.
That's it.
And tell Derek Holland, nice work.
All right.
4-0 Rangers as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Back live, the very first pitch in the bottom of the fourth inning, hammered into center field by Josh Hamilton. He had been 4 for his last 41, so nice to see Josh attack the first one he gets. Rifle it on into center field. It brings up Jared Saltalamacchia.
Gosh, a lot of people to say hi to tonight. Keith Holman from Salina. We'll wish him a happy birthday from us and also from his wife, Crystal. Cleo Pettit is 82. He's from Sweetwater. Happy birthday, Keith. Happy birthday, Cleo. And our thoughts and best wishes are with Bridget Winan. Big Ranger fan watching the game tonight. Love from Bonnie, Kelly, and Sherry.
Got a nice crowd here at the ballpark on a Thursday night. Very comfortable night tonight. Temperature 84 right now. A little breeze blowing. Saltalamacchia, line shot to third base. Couldn't have hit it any harder.
Well, 2 ropes for Salty. Hit a home run first time up and almost had a double and an RBI down the line this time up.
Right at Jack Hanahan. There's that walk-up music for Elvis Andrus. A lot of fans have kind of turned to their partners, turned to their friends and said, what is that? It's from a group called El Mundo. And the name of the song escapes me, but it is certainly recognizable. Sounds like somebody falling off a cliff. And yes, the players pick their own walk-up music. You know, little leaguers now that want their own walk-up music.
You know, El Mundo brings back memories of Venezuela because there was a newspaper, I don't know if there still is, called El Mundo, and there was another one called the Meridiano. And the kids on Sunday used to be standing right in the middle of the street selling both newspapers, and I can still hear this little kid out in front of the hotel going, Mundo Meridiano. So when you said El Mundo,
well, there you
that's
go.
all I could think of.
That's pretty close to you singing on the air, which you said you'd never do. So,
well, I mean, that's just kind of testing. That's just kind of testing it right there.
Well, we haven't.
If I get a good review on Mundo Meridiano, maybe I'd branch out into like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or something like that.
FoxSports.com, keyword email Rangers if you want to critique Tag's singing ability.
I've got to ask Omar and Elvis if Mundo and Meridiano still are two newspapers in Caracas.
Then they may ask you to sing them a little ditty. Four runs on 5 hits for the Rangers already. It took a while to get going yesterday, of course, against Justin Verlander. Rangers ended up losing 13-5. And the Angels won their game yesterday afternoon. Runner goes, and Elvis Andrus socks it in right. Hamilton got to hightail it back to first, and he'll get there. That'll bring up Omar Vizquel. Back to that Aflac trivia question. The youngest player in American League history to homer from both sides of the plate in the same game was the soon-to-be Ranger Hall of Famer Ruben Sierra. It was basically Elvis's age. Elvis also now about 4 weeks away from turning 21.
Saw Ruben tonight in the press dining room. Looked great.
By the way, thanks to the emailers for letting me know that Chacaron Macaron is the name of the song by El Mundo.
Chacaron Macaron.
There you go.
Nice hitting.
Vizquel with the Rangers' 6th hit of the night. Michael Young will come up next. Michael blasted away for his 15th home run of the year last time.
Kind of a breaking ball that stays up, out over the plate. And you see Omar kind of raise up to make sure he got on top of it. Went the other way, found the hole between first and second. Got himself a base hit.
Chris Jakubowskis has been warming in the bullpen. And with Michael Young about to bat, Michael Young having hit one 430 feet last time, this is as good a time as any to go get yourself a Jakubowskis. Pass an unlimited play in the sports park for kids 13 and under, all for as little as $15 a person. Go to TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS. The Rangers have been socking the ball tonight. They've hit a bevy of home runs. They've got some doubles. They have chased Garrett Olson. And now Chris Jakubowskis will get into the proceedings with 2 on, 2 out. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Michael Young will dribble one up near third and foul. This is our Verizon Wireless call to the bullpen. And Jakubowskis, who was in the starting rotation earlier this year for Seattle. Kind of a veteran vagabond guy who's finally getting his big break this year. And he nailed it back in April. He had a great April, but he's struggled since then. We will get the Jakubowskis-Saltalamacchia battle at some point tonight. Right now it's Michael Young, whose homer in the third was his 15th of the year. His career best, you might remember, is 24 back in 2005. A throw to first base, look out. Got him. Omar Vizquel ranging well off the bag. That's a catcher with a good arm. Speaking of which, Jim Sundberg will be joining us when we come back. How about that for a segue? 4-0 Rangers at the end of fourth.
Beautiful.
That was truly disgusting.
That thing's it's unbelievable. How long have you had that thing?
It's been growing since probably the 80s.
Really?
Has it been sore the whole time?
On and off. On and off. And I just...
Got to kill you with a shoe on it.
I can't get...
Performance on this date in 1973. That was Jim Bibby's no-hitter against the Oakland Athletics. Got the swinging A's to swing and miss pretty much the entire day. The right fielder in that game was Thomas Allen Grieve.
Glad they didn't hit any my way. It probably would have been a one-hitter.
The catcher was not Jim Sundberg, but we're happy to have him in the booth anyway. You got Bert Blyleven's no-hitter, right?
Thank you, yeah. 77, 78.
I remember Bert's no-hitter. Didn't he pretty much go to the curveball after the 7th inning in that game?
Just curve after another, one after another. But a great stat is, and Bert told me this years later, he goes, he came off the DL to throw that game, re-injured his groin in the 8th inning, continued pitching, went on the DL after the game.
I don't remember that.
And then we traded him.
Wow.
Jeez. Tough room right there.
It is.
Needed a perfect game, I guess, if he wanted to stick around Texas.
Remember Alex Johnson talked about one game where he was continuing to move toward right center. He was playing right field. He was moving toward right center field
as the
game went on. And they asked him why he was moving. He said, well, no strategy. I was just trying to stay in the shadow of the light standard. It was hot.
Mike Sweeney, the batter, 2 strikes to count to him. And Derek Holland has become quite the storyline. You just threw out a phrase there a moment ago, Sonny. I'm not going to repeat it, but the context works here because Derek Holland has faced the minimum at this point.
Derek has had everything he's looking for. He talked about needing better command of his fastball. He's had excellent command of his fastball. Others have talked about being able to mix in off-speed pitches as well. And boy, this is the best he's ever thrown, his curveball and his slider today. Everything's working well for him right now.
Only 12 pitches out of the strike zone so far. We're in the 5th inning, and there's another strike.
You know, the other thing we've talked about all season long is how it's not fair to grade him at age 22 with very little minor league experience. You have to give him a chance to develop, to grow, to learn, to mature, all those things. But when you see 4 1/3 innings like this, it gives you a glimpse of what he could develop into when all the other things come together.
Wow, look at that. 92 upstairs. Shelton couldn't touch it.
There was a few of us watching downstairs the early part of the game, and it looked like early on he was locked on. And we've seen that, as you guys have broadcasted and remarked, that there's been a couple of times where we have seen him really on his game. But like you say, he has got it.
Well, that's as good as it gets right now, and this is the best he's been as a Ranger. And as you said, Sonny, he's had some pretty good games for the Rangers. This is the best that he's ever looked.
This is a Seattle team that yesterday got 11 hits off Roy Halladay, and I bring up the name Roy Halladay because he's the one guy that keeps getting bandied about. Will he be with the Blue Jays? Will he be dealt to the Rangers? Will he go somewhere else? Derek Holland's name has appeared in print in conjunction with all that. Oh, boy, it just dribbles into center field, and Jack Hanahan busted up. It was 14 up and 14 down for Derek Holland, and what a nice ovation he'll get. That was still a real good-looking pitch, too. Just happened to hit the label of the bat and go on into center field.
It looked like he's doing a pretty good fastball. Hit it right off the fist and just hit it exactly where he needed to hit it to find a hole with that soft line route.
A broken bat. Look at that.
A little piece of the bat chipped right off it. Sonny, this weekend's a big weekend for the Rangers, the Hall of Fame weekend. You had a golf tournament today. What are some of the other things we've got in store?
You know, we've got our luncheon tomorrow where Toby and will be there with Sierra.
I guess you're going to have to stick around for another couple batters to tell us, huh? Can you do that? Is that cool?
Sure.
All right, good. Thank you. And Derek Holland's got a one-hit shutout through 5. Baseball brought to you by the Ford F-150. It's not just a pickup truck, it's a Ford F-150. And by Whataburger, just like you like it. Michael Young was at bat when Omar Vizquel was picked off to end last inning. Michael Young starts this inning by drilling his second home run of the night.
Well, we featured Michael in the pregame show talking about what he's done since the All-Star game. And as hot as it's been, he's picked it up a notch tonight. 2 for 3 with a couple of bombs.
He's on a 209 hit pace in 2009. And as we mentioned earlier, he's never had a better season in terms of slugging percentage, on base percentage, right there along with what he did in 05. It has been a great year, and of course he's taken to third base so beautifully. A 5-0 lead for the Rangers. Marlon Byrd to the plate. We continue our conversation with Jim Sundberg in just a moment, but first, feast your eyes.
I'd say the hanger. Would you?
Yeah, I would say so. Yes, I would say so. I never did get the tail of the tape on his home run. Did you? First one.
430 on the first one. Yep.
Okay, well, not quite as far as his one the other day.
Well, he's hit 448 and 430 on this homestand. What's the longest one you ever hit, you figure, Sonny? Tail of
In
the
pro
tape
ball?
wise.
Yeah, I think my longest one was in college in Colorado.
Iowa and Colorado?
Summer ball in Colorado, Grand Junction, Colorado. High altitude.
Whoa, Marlon Byrd smokes one into center. For those that don't know, Jim Sundberg, proudly an Iowa Hawkeye. And a 39-year marital veteran. 39 years and about 3 weeks. Congratulations on all that,
Thank you.
too.
No, congratulations to Janet, not to Sonny. She's the one that deserves the congratulations.
My wife is on the left there, and she, I upgraded. Yeah. What do you call it? Over my skis?
Out kicking your coverage,
you want
sir.
to call
Yes,
it. That's very appropriate. Janet Sundberg on the left, Ruth Ryan on the right.
Don't they look just so cute down there, drinking their tea? Have a little.
I'm gonna let you carry this conversation,
time.
Sonny. I'm not going to make any comments. You want to get yourself in trouble?
No.
Keep talking.
2 strikes to Nelson Cruz. Earlier today.
Look at that foot.
Therein lies a tale. There's Jim Sundberg on the golf course. Shoeless Jim, they call him. And
Man, you must have hit that a long way. You were high in that ball for about 20 seconds.
I had some.
Either that or
It was
bouncing down the
that's
cart
the
path.
one that I hit so far. I said, touch them all right there. It was a long way.
Are you going to start playing in your bare feet now? Did you hit them well enough to change?
I figured it out with the bare feet. Yeah. Having a little trouble with my feet right
I'd
now.
have to give that a shot next time out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Sonny's doing it out of necessity, though. I mean, that's you got some barking toes.
What is that thing on your foot?
Well, it's just some catching issues from years ago that will be corrected next week.
Good.
That wasn't an extra toe.
You scare people on the beach with those feet, boy.
Looked like an extra ankle you had. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count to Nelson Cruz. The Rangers leading 5-0. And Nelly hits a hovercraft way up in the air, deep to left field. Not deep enough. Big swing right there. Speaking of big swings, on the golf course even. The team president.
He actually didn't hit the ball too badly. They were playing right behind us. He and Ruth and Kelly Fisher. Really shouldn't comment on where they finished, but they
Since
they
he's
didn't
your
finish.
boss,
They
that'd
were the top
probably be-
3, but it was a good-looking group.
Except for one guy's feet. Hank Blaylock is a part of the home run parade tonight, number 20. Now ground ball over to third. Hanahan to second for 1 on a first. A double play. Sonny, thank you. Great to have you. The Hall of Fame festivities coming up.
Sonny. Okay.
Looking forward to all that. And good luck with the ball game.
We'll see you. Thank you.
I hope so.
All right.
5-0. Rangers on top. 5-zip Rangers tonight as we go on in the 6th inning, and Derek Holland, even amid all these bottle rockets that the Rangers are sending all around the field tonight, has kind of been the story of the night. He was perfect for 4 2/3. He's only allowed one base runner, Jack Hanahan, a broken bat single in the 5th.
I'll tell you how efficient Derek's been. He struck out 6 in the game. That was only his 58th pitch. 45 strikes and 13 balls. Got some thank yous to send out. All our fine crew in the truck would like to thank Shirley Coast, our cookie lady, for the great batch of cookies and the nice note that she sent to them tonight. And we'd like to thank Big Tex Hall, the huge box of chocolate bars he sent up.
I can't believe all the chocolate we got.
That was very nice, Tex. Thank you very much.
That is fun to look at right there.
You know, it's also on a night where the bullpen is extremely tired, and the deeper Derek pitches into this game, the more the bullpen will appreciate it. So it's a great start for him to accomplish exactly that.
By the way, here come all the emails saying it's all my fault that the perfect game is over, even though I never said perfect game. But
well, I think you ought to just step up and accept it.
Yep.
Be a man.
Sorry, Derek.
Take it on your shoulders.
My bad.
Get it off your chest and just get on with your life.
I'm excited about the one hitter, although Johnson gets a hit here, I'm done.
Actually, it was Fergie that said it. Right?
And Sonny.
That's Sonny.
But it's all my fault, so that's all right. 3-2 the count to Johnson.
I don't know about that one.
I kind of thought that was strike 3, too. On the ground to short. And Elvis Andrews throws out Rob Johnson. Well, the point is, whether it's a no-hitter, a one-hitter, a two-hitter, or whatever, being able to pitch deep into the game tonight is a real quality thing to talk about. And with Scott Feldman going only 2 1/3 last night, and the bullpen being stretched out, and for Derek Holland, too. I mean, you know, he has not pitched well here at this ballpark yet. 8.18 ERA in Arlington coming in tonight. So this is a real lift for him, let alone for the team.
Prior to this start tonight, Josh, his best start was probably the start he had back in June at San Francisco. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. So far in this game, he's, I think, eclipsed the quality of his pitches in any of his starts tonight.
Well, the first time he went to 2-0, that doesn't last long. It's now 2-1. Now 2-2.
And something other than a fastball on a 2-1 count.
Got him.
Well, he is slicing and dicing tonight.
That is 7 strikeouts, no walks. That's kind of what we were talking about with Justin Verlander around this time last night.
It's just one quality pitch after another. And if you look at number 5, it's touching, barely touching the outside corner. That's how good a pitch that was. And it's just been that way, one pitch after another tonight.
That's a career high in strikeouts now for Derek Holland. I'm sorry, 1 away from a career high now for Derek. That one hangs on the corner there to Ichiro. He had the walk-off winning hit for the Mariners just the other night. First time he's ever had a walk-off. I can't believe that.
Boy, it's been a mismatch so far in this game.
You can see why the Blue Jays would reportedly be interested in this fellow. On the ground, second base, Omar Vizquel. Got him. It's a one-hit shutout so far for Derek Holland. Two at Sonic. Good luck to Sandra Soto of Tatum. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, we're giving away $25,000. You can register at any North Texas Sonic restaurant. Rangers have a pair of home runs from Michael Young tonight. They've got one from Blaylock and one from Saltalamacchia. They are currently coasting against Seattle 5-0. The Rangers' last 5 games, they have scored nothing but 5s and 7s in the runs department. And until last night, holding down the opposition had not been a problem. It's looking more and more like that was just a one-night wrinkle in time. Rangers trying to get to 57-43 with a win tonight. It will be their second best record ever through 100 games. That is ball 4. Andrew Jones walking for the second time. Josh Hamilton coming up. We say hello to Emily Jones.
Guys, just a friendly reminder to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Twitter, of course, you'll want to become a follower of ours if you're already not, just to keep up with all of the trade rumors and, of course, if anything official happens tomorrow at the trade deadline. And, of course, on Facebook, our Facebook page, Southwest, or Fox Sports Southwest, rather, you can see that behind-the-scenes look at my day in the life of a Rangers grounds crew person. And, boy, what a humbling and enjoyable experience that was. Gentlemen?
Thanks, Em. A 5-0 lead for the Rangers. Josh Hamilton's been a part of it tonight with a base hit. There's already been a snap throw from Rob Johnson tonight to capture a Ranger. Andrew able to sneak back in. We've talked about Andrew blasting all the home runs. You know, there's only one player right now with a better home run per at-bat ratio in the major leagues than Andrew Jones. It is Albert Pujols.
Wow.
Andrew is second on the list.
He's got a big lead at first base. That's 2 steps and a dive to get back.
Hamilton with only 1 home run over the last 28 games in which he's played. And the home runs he figures are going to come just as soon as the stroke itself is back. And job one for Josh is just to feel comfortable up there again.
Yeah, it's just a matter of timing, and it sounds like an easy thing, but when you don't have it, you feel lost, and it's hard to find it sometimes, even for a pro. You see it happen to golfers, and you try to go back, you watch film, you try to find that feeling of what it felt like when everything was right. It's just not that easy sometimes, and I think that's what Josh is going through right now, just trying to find that comfort zone where he feels comfortable at the plate.
Big lead over there for Andrew again. Line shot, and that big lead, well, almost cost Andrew Jones, but Chris Shelton couldn't make the pick. And now Andrew ends up at second base anyway. E5 after Hanahan was able to spear that line drive. He threw it in the dirt. Andrew was kind of sheepishly crawling back, then all of a sudden he could get up and wander on down to second. Saltalamacchia now batting lefty. He's already homered as a righty tonight. Put one up on Green Hill. Looking to go that way again. Driving it to left center. At the warning track, it's caught.
But three really good at bats for Saltalamacchia tonight. He had the home run the first time up. The second time up in the fourth inning, he had a line shot right straight to Hanahan at third base. And now he goes the other way, left center field, left-handed, and hits it about 395 feet to left field. Jared's having a good night tonight with a bat.
Breaking ball inside to Elvis Andrus. The Rangers out hitting Seattle tonight 8-1. Garrett Olson was the starter for Seattle, lasted 3 2/3. It's been Jakubowskis the rest of the way. Again, the Angels have the night off tonight. So the best the Rangers can do is pick up half a game. They'd be 3 behind if they win tonight. And be 57-43 through 100 games. Pretty easy to do the winning percentage there. .570. Andrews strikes out. And the Rangers strand Andrew Jones at third. But the end of 6, however. Well, the Rangers on top of Seattle. open house. Rangers 5, Mariners nothing. Starting a 4-game series against Seattle, where it's been 100 degrees in the Pacific Northwest. They've never had that. And here in Arlington, it's 82 at the end of July. Go figure.
Been some heat on the mound tonight, though.
Yeah.
Maybe cool temperatures, but plenty of heat.
That's because of the Dutch oven. Thank you. Derek Holland is working on a one-hitter right now. The only hit, that chipped bat bouncer into center field from Jack Hanahan. Gutierrez pulls one foul. This seems like a parade of 0-2 counts tonight.
He's thrown, well, 56 strikes, 19 balls. He's only thrown 75 pitches.
Gutierrez, one of the hottest hitters going. Since the end of June, only Eric Ibar of the Angels has been any better in the AL. Close, but no.
That's one of those pitches that looks low and surprisingly is in that rectangle more often than not.
Wow, Gutierrez not even close.
Well, he went to 0-2 and he threw him 2 low fastballs, and that's the location he's talking about. Locate my fastball. He kept them low. If they weren't strikes, they were low and out of the strike zone, and then he came back with a 2-2 slider, a really good slider, and he gets a hot hitter to swing and miss for the second time at the same pitch.
Well, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast he had a chance tonight to Derek Holland to kind of show off to one of the guys that tutored him all of last year in the minor leagues. Rick Adair was that Rangers roving minor league instructor. He got a chance to be a big league pitching coach this year, so he jumped at that chance to go to Seattle. But Rick Adair, you talk to him and he'll tell you, he just loved working with Derek Holland. Saw the potential, saw the greatness. Such a willing pupil. So there's got to be kind of a proud father thing in there somewhere for Rick Adair tonight. Though he's wearing a Seattle uniform and the Mariners are trailing 5-0. Lopez knocks it in the air to left field.
They just have not been more than I don't even know if there's been a handful of pitches that haven't gone where he's wanted them to go tonight. He followed up a slider down and in with a good fastball that jammed Lopez. A little weak pop up to left.
Rangers taking on these Mariners Saturday, and the first 7,500 kids into the ballpark on that night. Get that chest protector backpack. Being modeled so well by our 6-shooter, by Shonda. And the information on that, 972 Rangers, that's the number to call. TexasRangers.com, the website to go to. The Saturday night promotion. First 7,500 kids, 13 and under, get the chest protector backpack.
Shonda's good, boy. Gotta go into modeling.
Shonda's digging the airtime. Happy to have her up here. Thank you. Of course, the Hall of Fame induction ceremony is Saturday night as well. Toby Harrah, Ruben Sierra will be inducted starting at 6:20. So come out early for the backpack and to see Ruben and Toby. To right field by Mike Sweeney. And it's a one-hit shutout for Derek Holland at the 7th inning stretch in Arlington. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Omar Vizquel trying to bloop one in, but that'll be caught in center by Gutierrez. And Michael Young, who's homered in his last 2 at-bats, coming up now. The Rangers leading 5-0. Your Ford leaderboard, Cruz and Kinsler were both out of the lineup last night. Nelly's returned tonight. Kinsler's got another night off. Now, Michael's never had a 3-home run game. We'll have that opportunity right here. The only base runner for the Seattle Mariners, Jack Hanahan, a .207 hitter with a broken bat, kind of bloop dribbler in the 5th inning, found its way into center field. Three and 1 to Michael Young. Rangers trying to improve to 7-3 against this Seattle team. Michael Young stays hot, base hit.
You talk about hitting some ropes.
Michael's moved from the 14th in the league in hitting up to 5th in the league in hitting in about a week and a half.
And that's with a lot of at-bats, too. It's hard when you get that many at-bats to see your average go up quickly, but when you have 3 straight games of 3 for 4 and another one tonight, it gets a little bit easier.
On a night where the Rangers needed a deep effort from a starter, the bullpen's been quiet all night. Marlon Byrd hits it high and hits it deep left field. Taking off and gone!
Five home runs for the Rangers tonight. They have hit some bombs and they've hit some line drives to go along with them.
We have lauded the Rangers all year for their resiliency. Now they're able to bounce back when bad things happen. And yesterday, obviously not one that they were real fond of. With a shrug of the shoulders tonight, they are out hitting Seattle 10-1 and leading 7-0. Nelly Cruz down the left field line, and this ball is fair. Another Ranger extra base hit. A barrage of homers and doubles tonight. There have been only 2 singles. Actually 3 singles now, but the 5 home runs. And Nelly Cruz with a pair of doubles. Pitching coach Rick Adair is heading to the mound to talk to Yakubauskas. By the way, tomorrow, same 2 teams. Vicente Padilla will try for a 3rd time with this flu that he's been fighting to get out there. Jason Vargas, the lefty, will go for Seattle. Saturday looks like a fascinating matchup tag. You've got Tommy Hunter against Felix Hernandez.
Oh, that sounds like a good one, the way Tommy's been throwing. Felix had a little bit of a down outing his last start, but hadn't been a better pitcher in the league than Felix Hernandez the last couple of months. That will be a good matchup.
Blaylock rips one into the crowd. Sunday should be a good one, too. Millwood against Washburn, assuming Washburn is still around. Still a lot of talk about him possibly being moved.
Well, Washburn's been one of the better pitchers in the league as well. I mean, he and Hernandez are in the top 5 in ERA, top 5 or 6 in ERA. Washburn's been really tough to beat the last month. So I guess from a Ranger perspective, if Seattle traded him, that would probably be a good thing. You don't have to face him this series.
By the way, the Pirates have just traded a couple more guys. John Grabo, the lefty. Tom Gorzolani, another lefty. They go to the Cubs. They've been on the market for a lefty since, well, for a while now. Ground ball base hit for Blaylock. Nelly Cruz will hold at third. It's runners at the corners and just one out for Andrew Jones.
There's got to be general managers trying to figure out who the Pirates have left. See if there's anyone else they can get, because if he's good and making any money and been around for any length of time, the Tigers are going to trade him.
Zach Duke apparently would be the next to go. I don't know if any other Pirates still left.
Mahalam is another one, but
yeah,
you know, those guys are still pretty young. If you're going to build a team, I would think you'd want those two guys to help anchor your rotation. No doubt the Pirates have just said, this is not working, we're starting over.
Ground ball to third base. Hanahan to second for one, on to first. It's a double play. So the Rangers will settle for 2 here in the 7th on the home run from Marlon Byrd. The Rangers are totally in command tonight. It's Collins, outstanding breaking stuff tonight.
This is the best slider that he's had all season long. All those pitches are sliders. That's a slider. Every one of them is a slider, and that's exactly where he's trying to throw it. And, you know, Derek said that it's all about location, and he has shown how important location is tonight. Keep that slider down, a little bit out of the zone where the hitter can't do much with it, and then spot his fastball on the corners and keep it down around the knees. And boy, he's done that all night long with very, very few exceptions.
Goes to 2-1 on Shelton, the former Ranger who has struck out a couple times. It's been kind of an embarrassment of riches for the Rangers tonight. 5 home runs, a 1-hit shutout from a 22-year-old, some sparkling defense.
Yeah, I don't know that they've hit a ball hard tonight. There was a ball hit to Elvis that was a decently hit ground ball. There may have been 1 or 2 line drives that were somewhat hard hit to the outfield. But other than that, I don't think there's been a tough play or a hard hit ball off Derek. It's been about as dominating a game as we've had all season long from a Ranger pitcher in a season where we've seen excellent pitching. But I don't know that we've seen an outing any better than this one tonight.
The improved defense that the Rangers have run out there, though, our buddy John Lowe from the Detroit Free Press, great writer, brought this one to my attention yesterday, and it's a great point. The Rangers last year, 107 unearned runs allowed. That's a ton. So far this year, they've allowed 25.
What a huge difference.
Wow. I mean, wow. High drive by Shelton into center. Josh Hamilton back. And he's got it. We go to Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Josh. Progressive fan of the game. It has to be Sam sitting here right behind the Rangers bullpen because in the second inning, he ended up with Hank Blaylock's home run ball ricocheted off this guy's hat. He caught it, and you gave it to this longtime Ranger fan. Why?
Because I found out that she has never caught a ball coming to games for 5 years, so I decided that Hank Blaylock's was hers.
All right, there you go. You get the tote bag, the hat from Progressive. You get the home run ball. How do you feel about that?
I feel real good.
All right.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You deserve it. Appreciate it. Thank you. And way to go, Sam.
That's what being a fan is all about right there.
That's the ball we're talking about. Now here's Hanahan, who's, you know, kind of a very unlikely public enemy #1 tonight. Decent enough fellow. 207 hitter coming in. But he's got the only hit against Eric Holland all night. Such that it was. Again, it was a chipped bat single in the 5th inning.
The other thing Derek has done is he's allowed the bullpen to sit in their chairs and not even get up the whole game. They have moved. No one's thrown a ball down there this game.
Here's the one base runner Seattle's mustered.
And that pitch was on the inside part of the plate and broke his back. Would have stopped rolling. Josh didn't run in to get it. You can see when he misses slightly out of the strike zone. Instead of missing toward the middle of the plate where the hitter might get a good pitch to hit, the pitches he misses on are still tempting, but they're not strikes, and therefore the hitter can't do any damage with them. And that's what he's talking about. Location of his fastball. It's been just about perfect all night long.
A little sweet revenge on a Hanahan right there. That's a career high 9 strikeouts. He's also never gone this deep into a major league game at 7 2/3 innings.
You know, you think about two games we've talked about that the Rangers have had pitched against them. The 13 strikeout game from Verlander last night, no walks. The 13 strikeout, no walk game from Luke Hochevar. Neither one of those guys pitched better than Derek's pitching tonight. Been more efficient with his pitches. His stuff has been equal to them, and the results have been even better tonight.
He's thrown 73% of his pitches for strikes tonight.
That's pretty good. You know, right now he's got 2 outs in the 8th inning. He's at 99 pitches, and I guess the question will be, depending on how quickly this inning ends, whether or not Derek will get a chance to come out and complete the game by pitching the 9th inning.
The 25th round draft pick of the Rangers out of Wallace State Community College in Alabama. And now one of the crown jewels of a very rich farm system. Just now getting to 100 pitches. Inside to the newest Seattle Mariner, Jack Wilson. Don't forget that Hall of Fame ceremony Saturday. We'll have it for you. Here's a 3-2. He got him!
3-2 breaking ball.
10 strikeouts. And a Dutch treat in Arlington, Texas tonight.
The poles, we've played those poles going up. Those poles are in play.
The ones going up.
Foul territory, they're in play. So the hit sack comes back, it's in play. Michael! You win.
Tell me, I want to know. 2 outs, what do I do at second base?
You're going to score on this base hit. What you're going to do. He's not going any place at first base. Got to go on the ground. Fly ball, you're tagging up. Wild pitch pass ball, you know you can make it.
Thanks to Dave Anderson wearing that mic for us tonight. Sounds of the game on Fox Sports Southwest. Probably just a lot of attababies, too. Guys just kind of cruising around in the general direction over there at third. There have been 5 Ranger home runs hit tonight. And that's all well and good. It's fun to talk about Ranger home runs. But, Tom, you've done that. I've done that. Ranger fans have watched that for years. What we have not seen as Ranger fans is what Derek Holland has fashioned tonight. There's been only one Seattle Mariner base runner. That was that chip bat single by Jack Hanahan in the 5th. It's 8 innings of unbelievable baseball from the 22-year-old from Newark, Ohio. Hamilton robbed at first base.
The last 2 times up, Josh has hit the ball hard. He hit the line shot right straight at third. And this one looked like it was headed down the right field line, but a nice play by Shelton. Takes an extra base hit away from Josh. A hit in the 4th and a couple of hard hit balls in the 6th and the 8th.
Well, at least there's no drama, I guess, right now. Guys are talking to Derek Holland on the bench. A perfect game possibility went awry in the 5th with Hanahan's single. Holland sitting behind Mike Maddox back there. The pitching coach has got to be busting his buttons tonight, huh?
We've seen signs all season long, off and on, from Derek. The game against San Francisco, there was a really nice game in Houston against the Astros. And even in the games that haven't gone Derek's way, you can see signs of what the future holds for Derek. There was a game where he gave up 5 or 6 runs, but still struck out 8 batters. And tonight, it's an example where everything came together for the whole game. It's the best slider that he's had all season long. It's the best command of his fastball he's had all season long. You could pretty much see it on his face and see it with his body language right off the bat that he felt good tonight. He was totally focused, and all his pitches were working. And when you've got that kind of stuff on that kind of a night, these are the results that you're capable of. And it's been fun to watch, and I know it feels good to him. You know, it feels good to him individually, but it feels good to him to be able to help the team, save the bullpen, and have the potential to win a game in the middle of a pennant race. I'm sure that's the part that feels the best.
Saltalamacchia has had the pleasure of catching Holland tonight. The young catcher working with the young pitcher. There has not been a one-hitter by a Ranger in this ballpark since 1997. That was Rick Helling and John Wetland combining. Fernando Vina had the only hit. Well, let's drop in and check in with Dana down on the set. You got to be feeling good.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking forward to getting Mark McLemore's take on Derek Holland's sparkling performance. Emily Jones will be working the Rangers clubhouse after the game, and no doubt headed straight for Holland and the other key figures in this game tonight. We'll check the standings, get you ready for Hall of Fame Saturday. A lot coming up. We know we're going to have a great crowd. That's right after the game on Rangers Live, guys.
All right, thank you very much. And now Derek Holland and the Rangers. It has been Derek Holland's night tonight. The Rangers have backed him with plenty. 7 runs on 12 hits. Here's the Pontiac starting line. Get the Pontiac you want before they're gone. The Rangers have absorbed games like this from Luke Hochevar and from Justin Verlander lately. But now they are putting one to somebody else. And it's a 22-year-old Holland who's doing it. 8-9-1 in the Seattle Mariner order. Holland in uncharted territory for him at the big league level, pitching in the 9th inning. Fouled back this way. A 10 strikeout game for a Ranger is a rare occurrence, at least in recent years. Of course, when Nolan was pitching and some other guys, that used to happen quite a bit. But Tom, you and I were together 4 years before we saw one of those in concert.
Who was the one that got the first one?
It was Juan Dominguez, I want to say.
Dominguez?
Yeah. was the first one since Esteban Loaiza. Rangers went 5 years at one point. There's the first walk for Derek Holland all night. Is it possible that he's a little amped up right now, trying to finish what he has started here? He's got that opportunity.
I'm sure he is, but he's been throwing the ball so well all night long. Ron's going to give him a chance to finish the game, but not going to let him throw 125 pitches to do it.
Right.
And I think he's going to monitor this. He's getting Warner Madrigal loose. So it's not finish it no matter what. It's finish it if you continue to be efficient, because you have visions of him pitching for the Rangers for many years to come, and you're not going to jeopardize any part of his health by letting a 22-year-old throw 130 pitches if that's, you know, what it got to this inning.
Saunders, a strikeout victim twice tonight, and is quickly behind 0-2.
Well, that's a good thing. He got the walk, had the walk of Johnson, came right back and threw 2 quick strikes. Quality strikes, too.
Now missing in. So the pitch count up at 111. High fly ball. No problem in right for Nelly Cruz.
A big thing in the bullpen now is Grilly has had a couple of days now. Nippert's now had 4 days. Eddie's had a couple of days. So this game has done a lot to help replenish the rest that the bullpen needed.
Ichiro takes a strike. Ichiro is down 0-2.
It hasn't been a game where Derek's been throwing the ball 96 or 97 miles an hour. It's been a game where he's consistently been 91 to 93 with pinpoint command of his fastball. Tried to elevate it on purpose, 0-2. Ichiro swung at that pitch during this ball game once. Try to get him to do it again.
Ichiro with a tapper to short. 6, 4. That's it. Fielder's choice. So it's not quite done yet.
Yeah, you don't turn many on Ichiro unless it's a one-hop smash.
The last Ranger to strike out 11 in a game. You got to go back a dozen years. Rick Helling. Right now, Collins at 10.
They want to do everything they can to let him finish this ball game. He's had 116 pitches, so he's starting to enter into kind of borderline pitch count territory.
Well, yeah, I mean, the one thing that happens if he does have to leave the mound, he'll get an ovation he'll never forget.
No doubt. Right now, Ron's saying to himself, okay, good. Get that last out right here. Put a ground ball right at somebody.
Instead, it's a base hit into center. And ending the chance of the first complete Game 1 hitter for a Ranger since 1996. Boy, does Michael Young love Derek Holland. roots for him, wants him to do so well. He was the first guy over there, even before Ron Washington took that first step out.
The fans want to see him finish the game, but you have to understand, this is the most pitches he's ever thrown in a game, 118 pitches. And, you know, Ron may let him stay in there. He's going to make sure he finds out how he's feeling. But if he takes him out here, you have to understand, he's done his job tonight. And you have to have the long-term goals in mind, not just the last out of this game.
One. By Progressive for a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. And by the Ford F-150. It's not just a pickup truck, it's a Ford F-150. Derek Holland up close to 120 pitches for the night. Ron Washington was not going to let it go further than that with 1 out left to get. It was a perfect game into the 5th. It was a one-hitter into the 9th. Nolan Ryan with a standing ovation. The rest of this crowd followed form.
And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if when Ron was out on the mound, he was saying to Derek, if this hurts you to come out of the game, how do you think I'm going to feel when I walk off the field and every fan in the stadium boos me for taking you out of the game in the first place? But 118 pitches, that's more pitches than he's ever thrown. You've got a lot of games down the road, and you don't want to do anything in this game to jeopardize the health of a young pitcher. I think Ron let him go a little longer than he probably wanted to, just to give him a chance to finish the game. He gave him a chance to get Gutierrez, but when Gutierrez got the base hit, then Ron said, okay, that's it. I'm not going to let him throw any more pitches. And I think that was the right thing to do. I know it was the right thing to do. It might not have been the popular thing to do, but it was the right thing to do.
Now Lopez will bop one in a right. And the shutout is over. That's a shame. Derek Holland was looking to hit that 0. Now it is 7-1.
Again, that's the short-term thing that the fans watching the game are concerned about. Long-term, that's not a real meaningful thing. The meaningful thing is the overall performance tonight and pointing in the right direction to finish the season strong.
A leadoff walk to Rob Johnson kind of prolonged the inning. Ichiro beating out the fielder's choice prevented the game from being over. So not a perfect game, not a complete game, not a shutout, but boy, Ranger fans saw with their own eyes tonight what the potential of Derek Holland is all about. Rangers live after the game. The Rangers get closer now to getting back to within 3 of the Angels in the West. 62 games to go. Madrigal just brought up today with Guillermo Moscoso sent out. Two and two to Sweeney, 2 on, 2 out. Three and two. One of the base runners still the responsibility of Derek Holland. Three-two pitch runners going. That's ball 4. And the Mariners rising up here with 2 outs in the 9th.
C.J. Wilson's throwing in the bullpen, and if a run scores, this becomes another base runner. This becomes a save situation.
Never would have thought that.
Not exactly a tough save situation, 1 out to go, but never was a save situation.
Ryan Langerhans comes in the ball game to pinch run now at first, as the Mariners have loaded him up. Now the fans are getting a bit restless. This one was in the bag. They're ready to all but carry Holland off on their shoulders. Crowd of about 24,000 here tonight. And again, Derek Holland for 8 2/3 had a 1-hitter. Had a perfect game through 4 2/3 tonight. Madrigal has come on and thrown 7 balls against 5 strikes. And the fans react to that because at one point tonight for Holland it was 7 balls and 27 strikes. Fouled, and now 2 and 2. In the air to right field. Ball game. '22-year-old Derek Holland, 8 2/3 innings of greatness tonight.